It's this or something better, babe. This or something better. Why would I be attached to that one thing? Because I have a baby brain and I don't know all of the amazing possibilities of something that could come to me. If I don't get something I want, I know it's because the universe has something even better in store. The law of detachment doesn't need to be that complicated. It's that or something better. Why would I be super attached to that one thing when the universe could give me something 10 times better?
Guys, this is exactly why a lot of men are refusing to date modern women. They always think that they can do better. A lot of them will trade you in at a heartbeat's notice because they see some other dude who's doing better in life, or because some guy who's more attractive gives her attention. And before you know it, guys, oops, she divorces you and takes half your crap. This is absolutely hilarious modern day dating advice that modern women give each other, guys. Oh, don't worry about this guy. The universe will just give you one that's 10 times better. And then they keep telling themselves this until they're 35 and alone, single with no ring, no kids, and a whole bunch of cats, and a full TikTok for me to cover. But what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again. And on today's episode, we are going to be talking about why men are refusing to date modern women. Now, today's video subject is not too difficult because it's so damn obvious, but hey, we'll kick it off with this clip right here. It says, stay silent when you are upset with a man, because as always, guys, nothing solves problems with the opposite gender like keeping quiet and saying nothing and expecting him to read your mind. Let's jump in. Guys, don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments.
Stay silent if there's something a man does that upsets you. This does not mean you give your man the silent treatment. When you tell a man how much they actually hurt you, do you know what that does in their brain? They think of it as a triggering sort of nagging situation, like how their mom was with them. And so they don't really respect you as much if you're telling them verbally what they did to you that actually hurt you. So
I mean, it's fine if you want to communicate with a man why you're upset. This is infinitely better than just expecting the dude to read your mind. The reason why dudes don't like it sometimes is because you might think that you're upset for a valid reason, but let's be real, guys, a lot of modern women are upset at the stupidest of things, you know, and this is just stuff that dudes don't want to deal with. Okay, you're upset about something, fine, but a lot of the time the man takes it as nagging because that's what you're doing and you have no reason to be upset. And you're just looking to be a giant pain in the ass. Very, very simple. Also, by the way, being silent is the same as the silent treatment, but of course we don't know the definition of words, do we? Let's continue.
Respect you as much if you're telling them verbally what they did to you that actually hurt you. So instead, what you do is you just stay silent. You don't tell them what they did wrong. You know what this allows them to do? This allows them to reflect on their behavior without you really having to say anything. And trust me, men are not dumb. Men know what they did to hurt your feelings.
Here's the thing. If you just stay silent, most men are not mind readers and they're not going to care, right? Here's the thing. What'll happen is dudes will ask you once, you say something, you pull the silent treatment, the guy will be like, okay, and then he'll just go do his own thing. Because you're acting like a child. That's really what it is, guys. And it's so funny to me. You have these women who make these videos, man, and they go on and on about how important communication is, and yet half the time they're silent because they expect you to read their minds, and then the other half of the time they're just making up stuff or actually just nagging you over things that don't need to be brought up anyway because she wants to create some drama. You see what I'm saying? It's like, wow, I wonder why dudes don't want to date you. And then half of them, guys, at least over on TikTok, they become dating coaches. They have no idea how to keep a man, no idea what men are interested in, and they become dating coaches. This is like somebody who's homeless becoming a financial advisor. Or some dude who has no experience with women whatsoever outside of flexing Lamborghinis, and then he tries to sell like a $2,000 course. You know, here's how to get women, even though he's never been with a woman in his entire life. This is like women giving dating advice when they cannot get commitment from a guy. It is absolutely laughable. Maybe you should learn how to get commitment from a dude, and then you might actually have some legs to stand on here. And, you know, A lot of them just can't do that, man. They really can't do it. And if they do it for a time, it never lasts because they've been with too many dudes anyway.
Having to say anything. And trust me, men are not dumb. Men know what they did to hurt your feelings. They will sit there, think about what they did, and they'll come back to you. Because everything is an energy source, okay? The minute you're giving in so much of your hurt and your disdain, like, oh my God, why did you do this to me? Da, da, da. All it does is just allow the guy to give you that space and that type of emotion that you're feeling. It doesn't get them to really want to try and problem solve.
Wait, what? See, now we're getting into energy, and now if you let me get this straight. If you tell the guy what's wrong, then he doesn't want to solve it, because, like, what is this, man? The things that men are expected to do in modern day dating is just so stupid to me, guys. You know, I was having a conversation with my dad a while ago about this, actually, and obviously my dad being older than me, I asked him what the dating scene was like back when he was young, and he was like, you know what? Nothing like this, is what he told me, man. Nothing. Things were a lot different back then, guys. The entitlement of modern women and the stupid crap that they say has just gone through the roof, guys. Like, the amount of obstacles and nonsense that men have to deal with when they're out there dating. Like, women will just tell you crap, you know, and it'll be like truth mixed with lies, and then you've got to do some mind reading, and you've got to treat her this way and that way, and it's like, holy hell, man, who the hell cares? Who has time for this? You know, I'm just gonna go play some video game or something. Way more worth it time-wise.
Emotion that you're feeling. It doesn't get them to really want to try and problem solve. When you are giving them silence, you're almost saying something without really saying something. You've upset me. I don't like this, and I'm going to walk away from the situation. That allows or triggers a man to go into his problem-solving skills and figure out what does he need to do to make you feel good again.
Why is it, by the way, it's just always like men's responsibility to make modern women feel better again? I don't understand this, guys. Like, people who have this thing where they rely on other people to make them feel a certain way is just doomed to, number one, it's stupid, and number two, it's doomed to fail, because people are not here to manage how you feel every second of every day. Okay, men were not put on this earth so that we could make you feel a particular way. Because here's the thing, by the way, even if a dude, I'll tell you what, married dudes, divorced guys know this, dudes who have been in, men know this in general, guys. You can go out there and you can put all this effort into a woman, and sometimes, man, it's just not enough. It really isn't. Oh, I want him to solve this and make me feel this way. The problem with trying to make you feel a certain way is that it's not permanent, and it's always fluctuating based on things that he can't control. Why should he be out here trying to fix how you feel every second of every day, when how you feel is determined by whether or not you snap a nail or whether or not you get enough likes on your Instagram post? Like, what is this? Genuinely, guys, like, what the hell is this?
I'm going to walk away from the situation. That allows or triggers a man to go into his problem-solving skills and figure out what does he need to do to make you feel good again. I promise you, being silent is your superpower as a woman. It's not like you're shutting out your man, but what you don't do is you don't tell him that you hurt me by doing this and that. You just simply sit there, make a very uncomfortable looking face. A man will literally feel your energy.
Yeah, and he's going to be like, oh, she's a pain in the ass. She's a child, right? Like, when women pull this stuff, they might think that they're doing some sort of, oh, super slick, you know, mind game, guys. They're working with their psychology. I don't know. They heard about this TikTok and they're implementing it, and it's going to go so well. Do you know what the man's perspective is? She's just pissed with me. So I'm just, if she's not going to tell me what it is, I'm not here to solve it. I'm not here to be a mind reader. This is a very fast way to actually run away a man. Like, if you want to get rid of a man, start doing these childish games. It'll work great for you. Now, ironically enough, guys, I do agree with this woman on one part, that, hey, maybe being silent would probably be help in some other situations. You know what I'm saying? Like, hell, I wouldn't want to be around this woman when she was talking. So maybe there is some validity to that, guys. But, you know, I'm not trying to have a relationship with this woman. Personally, I would just prefer if she wasn't talking so that I don't have to listen to her. But Hey,
comfortable looking face, a man will literally feel your energy. They will feel how upset you are, and that is way more powerful than your words. I promise you right now, your energy will say so much without having to say anything, and he will work hard to figure out what's going on with you.
it's like there is such a strong correlation between a woman sitting on TikTok and ranting about things like energy and the universe, and her just being a complete waste of a man's time. Have you guys noticed that? It's like, why would you deal with a woman like this? As soon as words like energy, universe, journey, chapters, healing, anything to do with crystals, and so on. Like anytime you hear a woman say these phrases, you already know, guys, she is absolutely bonkers. And it's just not going to be worth the headache dealing with her in the first place. And again, this is why dudes choose to not date men. Women think they're being slick with this stuff, but really, at the end of the day, all you're doing is being more of a pain in the ass. It might surprise women to know, but a lot of guys don't actually like being with women who they're expected to read their mind every 2 seconds about some nonsense that she's mad about. You know, dudes are not mind readers, nor do we care to try. If you have something to say, just say it. Really not that damn difficult. And don't like do this crap where you're trying to talk to a guy and you're talking about it in code. Just speak plainly. We're not here to try and find double meanings and things, man. A lot of guys, whenever you do this whole double meaning talk and try and get him to figure it out, they'll just leave you. They'll just stop talking to you because they'll be like, well, she's a giant pain in my ass. Can't have a relationship with that. Peace. And they'll dip out.
This has happened every single time with my relationships.
Relationships, plural.
The times that I have just straight up been so emotional or so like trying to like, you know, hey, you hurt me this way. It does not have the same impact than if you were to just stay silent and have them reflect on their own behavior and have them come back to you. Their brains work way differently than us. And it gets them to figure out, why is she staying away from me? Well, I don't like this. I want her energy back. That is the best thing you can do as a woman, is not to just talk, use your mouth all the time. Use, you know, your body language and your energy to get your point across.
I wish this woman would take her own advice and just be silent, but, you know, maybe that's a bit too much to wish for here. I want you guys to notice, before we continue into the next clip, by the way, how she mentions relationships, plural, and she was going through these episodes of like crying and being upset or whatever because a dude did something to hurt her. Let me just translate this real quick. She was trying to lock down men and have relationships with men who had no desire to commit to her. And obviously they were looking at other women, maybe a few she even did get lucky and have a relationship, but he ended up cheating. Again, very obvious stuff that women refuse to acknowledge is going to happen when they try and date dudes who are out of their damn league, who have a whole bunch of options and who are clearly not going to be faithful. You know, they go out here and they do these things, guys, and then they get surprised and they get upset and they're like, how could Chad do this to me? Maybe you should actually take your selection in men seriously, but they don't do that, guys. They go out here, they swipe on the top percentage of dudes on dating applications, and then they're pissed when they're like, that guy is seeing multiple women at the same time, or she can't get a relationship out of him, or he commits infidelity. All of these things were going to be obvious to anyone with a set of eyes, guys, but of course they have to chase these men and get pissed and cry when they can't get them.
Use your mouth all the time. Use, you know, your body language and your energy to get your point across. It's extremely powerful. And you won't use any extra emotional energy on anything, because you know at the end of the day, this person messed up and it's their opportunity to go and fix it. If they don't, what kind of guy does that show you?
Wait. So let me get this straight. You could be upset for any reason, and apparently it's just the dude's responsibility to fix it. And then if he doesn't do that, then it shows you what kind of guy he is. So let me get this straight, guys. As a man, can we expect the same thing? You know, we have a problem, or maybe we're not feeling the best today, or maybe our wife or something, she said something that rubbed us the wrong way. Like, imagine if dudes had this exact same attitude. You know what would happen, guys? There would be no relationships left. There would be no marriages. There'd be no long-term relationships. There would be no relationships of any kind. But modern women out here, guys, giving this fantastic dating advice. Everything is always, by the way, it's just always the men's responsibility. She doesn't feel good, men's responsibility. She wants to cheat, men's fault, right? She wants to get a divorce, men's fault. She'll make up some issue from years ago to justify leaving you and trying to take half your crap, if not all of it. You know, always the men's fault, man. Always, every time.
How does that show you? I mean, really, he needs to be the one to work something out with you. That's his job. Stay safe, ladies.
Wait, so, okay, this is the man's job to cater to your every emotional women every time you get upset about something. But I notice in these videos, guys, we never talk about the woman's job, do we? And if you do bring up the woman's job, then apparently you don't like women. Because Lord forbid a man have any sort of standards in a relationship, right? Women can have all of these ridiculous standards and stupid things that they say, and apparently it's totally fine. But men actually present a reasonable standard, like, hey, maybe don't go out dressed in that to the clubs when you're in a relationship with me, and then all of a sudden the dudes get called an incel and insecure and all of this crap. Women can have very unrealistic standards and expectations, and it's applauded. Men can go out here and expect something very reasonable, and it's completely trashed on. Crazy. But speaking of things being unreasonable, let's continue into this woman who was on the intro of today's episode, and she's going to be talking about the law of detachment. So let's jump in.
This or something better, babe. This or something better. Why would I be attached to that one thing? Because I have a baby brain and I don't know all of the amazing possibilities of something that could come to me.
So this is modern women's mindset in a nutshell, guys. And this is why so many of them, they bounce around to different relationships and situationships and things like this, is because when they're, particularly the women who have been with a lot of guys, okay, what ends up happening is they will get with a guy, but they will always be looking to upgrade him. They will always be looking to trade him in for a better one, or she'll always be thinking of a previous guy. And so their relationships never succeed because they could have a great man right in front of them, but they will still actively be looking elsewhere. Still be, you know, posting those photos on Instagram, guys, got to collect those orbiters, or still be trying to go out there to work dinners and crap like this, you know? They're still always actively sourcing dudes because they're looking to trade up. This is why, guys, so many of them are not happy, and a lot of relationships and marriages and things like this are not working out, or the men are just not bothering to start them, because why would they start them with someone who's looking to trade them in anyway before it even starts?
Baby brain, and I don't know all of the amazing possibilities of something that could come to me. If I don't get something I want, I know it's because the universe has something even better in store.
This has to be one of the stupidest things that I have ever heard on this channel, by the way, guys. You know, here's the contrast between what I think and what this woman thinks, okay? This woman thinks that if she doesn't get something, then apparently it means it's the universe has something better in store for her. You know what I think and a lot of men think when we don't get something? Either A, it was completely out of our control, so we shouldn't worry about it, or B, we didn't work hard enough and we don't deserve it. You notice the difference in mindset here, guys, between a lot of men and modern women on TikTok. Women, they don't get what they want. Oh, it's the universe's fault. Men don't get what they want. Maybe I could do this differently, or maybe I should have worked harder, or so on. Or maybe it was just completely out of my control and I shouldn't be going after it anyway because it's physically not possible. You know, notice how men oftentimes operate in reality, but particularly the women on TikTok, guys, you know, they don't... not a fan of reality. They would rather manifest things into their life, which I don't, you know, I can't speak much on that strategy because I think it's stupid. But hey, let's keep going.
I know it's because the universe has something even better in store. The law of detachment doesn't need to be that complicated. It's that or something better. Why would I be super, super, super attached to that one thing when the universe could give me something 10 times better?
Yeah, guys, why be attached to your husband or your relationship or something like this when, hey, there could be a Chad who's just around the corner who is 10 times better. You know, he's got bigger muscles, better car, maybe he's taller, and so on. And then, guys, these women, they keep on doing this process where they're always looking to trade up. And what inevitably ends up happening is they just can't grab the next branch. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. It is very funny to me when it happens, but women will be in like some sort of long-term relationship or a marriage. And sometimes they fail. Oftentimes they actually do fail at monkey branching. So what happens is they have the next guy lined up, ready to go. They ditch the relationship that they're in because they think they can just jump straight into the next one. But then they realize that that next guy didn't actually want anything serious with her. It is some of the funniest crap I've ever seen in my life, guys. It is absolutely hilarious because women think, oh, the universe has given me a better man. Finally, a man who's rich. But what they fail to realize is that these guys are not interested in a relationship with you. And it's very damn funny. I've actually covered videos here where women will actively leave their marriages only to completely screw themselves over in this way. And I find it incredibly entertaining. Absolutely. Like sometimes they leave, they don't get the finances they want, they couldn't steal from the guy. And then all of a sudden they're just out on the streets, no relationship. Maybe they've got a couple of kids or something like this. And they're just completely screwed. And they did it all to themselves because they thought that the universe would give them something that's 10 times better because they deserve it. Ridiculous, man.
Attached to that one thing when the universe could give me something 10 times better. Loosen the grip, babe. Loosen the grip. Realize that there's so many different ways that you could be happy. There's so many different ways for you to get that thing that you want.
Yeah, see, here's the thing about TikTok dating coaches for women, guys. They are just absolutely terrible. They will spew so much nonsense in their clips. It is ridiculous. But speaking of nonsense, let's continue on to the last clip of today. Now, I haven't seen this one ahead of time. I've only seen the caption. A few of you guys have actually sent me this one. It is, when is it time to walk away from your marriage? Yeah, you know, screw that whole thick and thin through sickness and health and all of that. When is it time to walk away from your marriage? Oh, tell us, Your Highness.
Do you want to know when it's really time to just walk away from your marriage? When is enough enough? If you're new here, hi, my name is Jackie. I'm 33 and I went through a divorce at 27.
Why is it always the divorced ones who are giving marriage and dating advice, man? Man, what is this? I'm telling you, it's like someone who's broke and they're just giving financial advice. You have these women who divorce their husbands, right? They go out here, they decide that they're not happy anymore, so they leave their husbands, they leave their relationships, and then like clockwork, so many of them become dating coaches over on TikTok. Now, I'm not saying that every woman is like this, but what I am saying is a lot of modern women represent this attitude, and it certainly does contribute to just driving men away from dating. How exciting is it as a prospect for a man to go out there and get into marriages when, number one, it's a complete scam for you, and number two, you have so many modern women who think like this, who think that their happiness comes above the marriage, it comes above the kids, and it becomes above the relationship with the man. Again, if men thought the same way, there would be no marriages left in the first place. Absolutely none.
And I'm here just to be your divorce bestie and help you through this tough time.
That's what I needed, guys. A divorce bestie. Yep. Women, single. What's that phrase that apparently Kevin Samuels used to say? I've seen it in a lot of my comments recently, like single women keep women single. I'd believe that. That sounds pretty damn accurate to me.
So when is enough enough?
Oh,
I
you
actually
preach,
get
sister.
this question quite often. How
No,
did
you
I
don't.
know that it was over? Typically, the question kind of starts like this. We used to have an amazing relationship, and then something happened. Either somebody cheated or lied, or you just grew apart.
I mean, let's be honest. Usually it's the latter. Usually you grew apart. You see, here's how you would know, by the way, if the man cheated. You ready to know how? You would know that the man cheated because the women would tell you straight up. But every single time I see these videos or I see women talking about their divorce, it's never like, oh, yeah, he cheated on me, so I divorced him. I could actually see a bit of sense in that. You know, probably not the best idea to choose a man who's likely to cheat on you in the first place. I'm a strong believer that there are red flags to begin with, and I think that a lot of women are terrible at choosing the men that they date. But let's just say you got cheated on. Okay, fair enough. The women don't actually say this during a lot of their videos and when they explain why they got divorced. Usually, it's just emotional nonsense language that's incredibly vague. And I guarantee you, if the guy actually did cheat on them, that would be one of the first things that they said. A lot of women are leaving marriages because they're incentivized to do so, and because they think they're going to be happier going out there and hooking up with other random dudes. They've realized that they can get the resources, so they don't need the man anymore because they can just get the government to steal from him and pay her, and so they bounce. And then they make up any sort of vague reason in order to do so, like, for example, we grew apart.
And you're not quite sure how to recover from the situation. Maybe you're stuck in the roommate phase and there's zero intimacy. Maybe you both are just burnt out. Maybe it just feels stale.
Could you guys imagine if dudes were really leaving relationships because, marriages, because it quote unquote felt stale? Holy hell. No wonder these women have like 35 cats, man. Oh, yeah, but you knew the relation, man, I just knew the relationship with her was over when it felt stale, you know? And oftentimes, by the way, as far as the intimacy goes, usually it's actually women who are denying intimacy from the man. So I don't really know how that excuse particularly holds up when, generally speaking, women are the ones who are not willing to participate in bedroom intimacy as opposed to the other way around. But hey.
But the question is always the same. How do you know when to call it quits and just stop doing what you're doing and move on? I'm gonna help you right now. If you're married to someone who treats you like trash, is physically or verbally abusive, tells you that you're stupid, tells you that you can't do anything without them, or says maybe you're too emotional, or maybe you're the problem.
Yeah, if he insists that you take any form of accountability whatsoever, just throw him out. If he suggests that you're being emotional over nothing, you need to divorce that man right away. If he suggests that maybe you're the problem in any particular scenario, hey, you need to divorce that man. Crazy, man. Absolutely crazy.
Or maybe you're the problem, or you're stagnant and you're not getting anywhere in life. One of the biggest things that you should be listening for is when you approach this partner with your concerns, how do they react? Do they turn it around and flip it on you and point the blame at you when you're genuinely just trying to communicate?
Oh, screw off. This is classic, man. There are so many wives who do this crap. They go to their husbands and they're like, yeah, I feel like we're drifting apart. You know, referencing the intimacy, for example. And then the guy will sit there and he'll be like, well, you're not participating in the intimacy, as many modern wives don't. And then she goes, how dare you turn this on me? How dare you make this into a me problem? It's your problem to fix. You know, these silly men just out here gaslighting us in marriages. And this is why dudes don't want to have marriages and relationships, guys, is because no matter what the dude does, he's just blamed for everything, right? If he insists that the woman is in any way to take accountability for a certain problem, he's just immediately labeled the bad guy, and the divorce proceedings begin as per the request of Karen here. I don't remember what her name was, so I'm just going to call her Karen. Anyway, Karen, I'm not really interested in listening anymore, so we are going to be leaving today's episode there. Guys, don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Why do you guys think that men are done with marriage and dating? Me personally, I have no idea. Absolute enigma. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.